What's crack, lads? That's your boy Night Rider 91 back again with another video. As you can see, Bmw S1000Rr Gen 2 in the M Sport edition. Have this bike for nearly a year now. No, it's the ZX10R. And in today's video I want to talk about buying a nearly 15-year-old bike in 2025. Is it worth it? What are the pros and cons? And do you get your value for money? Before we hop on the bike, let's do an old start. Opa. So the BMW S1000Rr Gen 2, this is the, as I call it, wonky eye version. Some people love it, some people hate it. When I first seen this bike, I absolutely fell in love with it. The first time I seen it was Riding with Tom back in the day on YouTube, and ever since then it was kind of my dream bike. My first kind of introduction to sport bikes was a GSX-R 600, and then when this bad boy came up for sale at a decent enough price, I knew I wanted it. So these models go for around 9, 10, 11,000 euro. The pros for me are that it's a comfortable bike. It was built on the basis of a GSX-R 1000, so the Gixxers in general, I think the K6, K7, they're very comfortable bikes. The seating position is comfortable. It's fast. It has an 193 brake horsepower to the wheel, which is what this made on the dyno when I got a map. There is some electronics, but you can turn them off. So I know, for example, in the R1 Big Bang, if you want to change the traction control or whatever, it resets with the key. So if you flick the switch or flick the key, it'll reset to the standard or default setting, which is stupid. Whereas here, you turn it off, you turn off the bike, and it remains that way. If you want to change the mode, you don't need to pull in. So if we want to go to race mode, set it to race, pull in the clutch, let it go, and it's there. It's a nearly 15-year-old bike, but it still looks beautiful in a competent and capable rider. It can basically do anything you want, really. To a track day, you can bring it abroad. You can really do anything with this bike. It has a quick shifter, only up, no auto blipper, heated grips. There's enough tech to kind of keep you happy, but it's not overdone to the extent of some of the newer stuff where you're really restricted. So it's like kind of the happy medium between something raw like the GSX-R 1000, K6, K7, and like the newer Gixxers or the newer BMWs. The cons of this bike then are the gear switches. So I'm currently having issues with the trip. It doesn't work. It's a common thing on them as well, so a lot of bikes had them replaced by BMW on the start. It was just faulty switch gears. The gear shifter as well, or the quick shifter on these, can cause issues. So sometimes if you're not on it enough, it'll kind of like stutter. I've heard that the transmissions blow up. I've heard there's issues with the engine. But now, touch wood, none of this has happened to this bike. It has 44,000 kilometers on it, so it has been used and abused, but it still keeps on giving. So personally, I think for what you're getting in terms of a comfortable, fast, enjoyable and raw, semi-raw bike, it's worth it. Comparing it to something like the ZX10R that I rode today, where it's raw, it's smooth, but it just doesn't give you that excitement like this does. S1000Rr, the older gens, I would suggest to not get this Gen 2, even though it's great, get the Gen 3. In the Gen 3 you have a bit more features like cruise control, launch control. They're more reliable, they're more refined as well. But you're still within a decent enough price tag to see if it's a bike for you, basically. So yeah, some of the other cons that I can think of is it's a BMW, right? So obviously parts are going to be a bit more expensive. Like for example, going back to the switchgear, brand new from BMW, it's about 400 quid. Managed to get second-hand ones for a bit cheaper. Still didn't fix my issue, by the way. Yeah, anything that you want to get for this bike being a BMW, it's gonna cost you. So yeah, that's in terms of the cons that I can think of after owning the bike for a year. Suspension's great. It's adjustable. Brembo brakes, you know, some of them obviously don't come with Brembos anymore. It has ABS, kind of takes out of the feel for the brakes, but again, you can turn it off to a certain extent. You can turn off the traction control. You have the different ride modes. You have slick mode as well, which has to be activated with a plug from BMW. But again, you're buying a second-hand bike, so normally that's already done for you. And at the end of the day, it's a BMW. Like, kids love it, people love it when they see it. It's a really good looking bike. Again, I may be biased here because I own one. Like, I've ridden a K6 Gixxer 1000, I've ridden the ZX10R today, I've yet to ride an R1. I rode the R1 Big Bang. So just kind of comparing this bike to all of those bikes, I still would pick this one. I think that's what this is. It's a very all-round bike for a 1000. It really does everything. The only thing that it doesn't do is not as smooth, especially not as smooth as the ZX10R today, or maybe the Gixxer 1000. But that's what I feel in terms of comparing it to the other 1000cc bike. So yeah, just taking on some twisties. Bmw S1000Rr. Beautiful bike. Yeah, it's not too bad on fuel. It's straightforward enough to work on if you're used to working on your own bike. The beauty about it is it's an old bike, right? So everybody's already done everything possible that you'd want it to be done. So YouTube is your best friend. You have all the videos in the world to see how to change the air filter, for example. Again, it's a very all-round bike, so if you're going from a 600 like I did, for example, to a 1000cc, you get on this bike, you don't have to be in race mode, you don't have to be in the slick mode, you can be in sport mode or whatever. It takes away some of that throttle, it takes away some of that torque as well, so you do get used to it. So it's definitely a good bike to upgrade to, coming from, you know, a lesser cc if you want a leader bike, but you still want some of that comfort, you still want some you want some features but you don't want to, you know, pay crazy money for a bike. So yeah, just to summarize, these are just my thoughts and my feelings on the bike. Obviously you could get more technical with the specifications of the bike compared to other bikes and things like that, but this is just my kind of journey from a 600 to 1000, and essentially buying my dream bike. So highly recommend this bike. Again, if you're looking to upgrade, consider the Gen 3. More refined again, good value for money, a bit more features. The reason again that I went with this one instead of the Gen 3 is because I like the look of the wonky eye. I know the Gen 3 is a different type of wonky eye, and I bought this from a friend, so I knew what I was getting. So yeah, I hope this video will help somebody make a decision or get some information on this bike. Do tell me in the comments which generation of the BMW S1000Rr do you like the most, or if you have one, what do you like about it? If you were to upgrade, which one would you get? And stay tuned for the next video. Thanks guys, I'll catch you at the next one. Peace.